Hey guys, it's Todd from Like Minded Lunatics. Yeah, I'm bringing you another drink, play, swear. It's all we do around here. I mean, besides watching Max Fleischer 20s cartoons at 4 in the morning. It's all we ever really wanted to do around here. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Drink, Play, Swear, and welcome back to Like Minded Lunatics. Now, you know this, that Like Minded Lunatics is not just Drink, Play, Swear. It's also my buddy Mark Gifford, my writing partner doing the Friday night videos. Bang! Check those out. It's just the best stuff on the channel. So if you're not watching those, you're not watching the best stuff on YouTube. And bang, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, please show us that you're a part of this ever-growing family of like-minded weirdos, degenerates, runaways, ne'er-do-wells, and bums. Okay, thanks for being with us. What do we do here at Drink, Play, Swear? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. We play a game, usually a classic one, pair it with a beverage, and I tell a story. Okay. Welcome to the show. We got a good one today. We are playing Cuphead. Specifically, we are playing the DLC for Cuphead. Cuphead is a game that came out a few years ago that I beat. It's an incredibly difficult game that I played for over a year and finally beat. Was almost happy to be done with it. But then the DLC came out and there are more levels. Oh no! So I'm going to be playing one with you today. I probably won't beat it. This is in the middle of the DLC, the Moonshine Mob in Bootlegger Boogie. And Cuphead is known for its Max Fleischer style, Walt Disney style, Warner Brothers style animation, hand-drawn. This game was not drawn with a computer, hand-drawn. Beautiful art, an incredibly frustrating game, but I really enjoy it. What are we drinking with this? A weird one, and I'll explain in a minute. Today I have... Alright, this is a Jim Beam and Orange Crush. What? Just hang on, I'll get to it. Get yourself something, and let's talk. We got plenty to get through today. Whoa. I haven't had an Orange Crush in like 20 years, and I've definitely never had it with bourbon. That's weird, but fun. What are we getting into in terms of the story while I get to playing the game here? Well, if you watch the YouTube channel and you've been a fan of Drink, Play, Swear in the past, you know that I promised a pizza trilogy and that I have told 2 pizza stories in the past. I talked about Pizza Hut and Domino's experiences as a kid, and then I talked about New York style pizza and my experiences living in New York eating pizza. Today, I'm going to round out that trilogy with what? That's right, check this out. Chuck E. Cheese memories, baby. Chuck E. Cheese, or what we call pizza theaters, okay? That's what I'm going to call them, because that's what my shirt says, this old school pizza time theater. And yes, I got a slice of pizza with me today to commemorate the completion of a trilogy. This is a Detroit-style pizza with the burned pepperoni. Makes me so happy. Get yourself a snack, get yourself a beverage, let's have a good time, and talk nostalgia. Detroit style is delightful, isn't it? Crunchy, cheesy, delicious. All right. Sorry, I'm just enjoying myself. Let's talk about Chuck E. Cheese. Now, Chuck E. Cheese still exists to this day, but as you saw on my shirt, I want to talk about the old school Chuck E. Cheese, 80s and 90s Chuck E. Cheese, because I gotta be honest with you, when I remember Chuck E. Cheese as a kid, it seemed like something special. It seemed like something you didn't just do any day. It seemed like it was as big of a deal as like a Disneyland trip or a Six Flags trip. It was like a big thing to go to Chuck E. Cheese. You only went on somebody's birthday, right? And it was special. It was wonderful because it was games, arcade games. It was pizza, and it was this really bizarre thing in the 80s and 90s. It was so popular. Animatronics, right? Animatronics were these programmed robots that would pretend to they would mimic like they were interacting with each other. And so at Chuck E. Cheese and at places like it, they had this band of animals, robot animals. It sounds so weird to talk about it these days, but it was an enormous part of our entertainment in this time. You know, sort of like It's a Small World at Disney World. You know, the ride where they're going through the song and stuff. It's exactly what Chuck E. Cheese was like in the 80s and 90s. This animatronic band would come out and play these songs, and it was like once an hour for 10 minutes, and then the rest of the hour you'd be eating your pizza and you'd be playing your own games. But these robots would come to life. You know what? If you can't wrap your head around it, Mark,
what?
Could you go down to the basement of Like Minded Lunatics Studios?
Dude.
I haven't organized the box very well, but there's a box of old reel-to-reel footage that I've got down there.
Yeah.
It's actually not for Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh.
It's for their rival Showbiz Pizza.
What?
But you're not going to find it in the S box.
Oh,
you're going to
typical.
find it in the P box for pizza.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If it's not in there, it might be in the F box for food.
Oh my god, dude.
Sorry.
It's
I'm
absurd.
sorry. But, look through that and show for folks the Showbiz Pizza, and we'll talk more about that company in a minute. Animatronics. It's great.
Roll it.
Think of those stars from the 50s sing, jukebox heroes and all those screams. Little Richard and Bobby Rydell, Elvis Presley sing Heartbreak Hotel. Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember?
All right, so Chuck E. Cheese and its sort of like rival Showbiz Pizza were just like our dream as kids. And, no, we didn't think those animals were real. We didn't think they were alive. But the thing is, when you're a kid, when you're still young and innocent and little, you're able for your imagination to be captured and for your disbelief to be suspensed, right? To suspend your disbelief and to just believe for a moment that you exist in the same world as your favorite cartoon characters and your favorite things, like when we watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the things that were impossible for you to interact with, but you wanted it so badly. And so it gave us everything our imaginations wanted. Use them a special, never gonna win in this level. You're never gonna see me beat this level, but it's fun and difficult. Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza. And I remember Showbiz Pizza was great because the one that I went to in San Antonio, it had like look at this. The Anteater is the last piece of this level. Insanely hard. I challenge any of you to try this game and this level. Showbiz Pizza had this enormous like bear. He was like 20 feet tall. And he had like a white Elvis jumpsuit on. And once an hour he would come on and play Elvis tunes. He would sing Elvis tunes. And then the band, the little band of animals was lined up, as you sort of got the gist of in the video, lined up on the ceiling sometimes or close to the ceiling and would jam out and give you that fun experience. The last of the Pizza Time theaters I want to talk about today was Mr. Gaddys. Now, Mr. Gaddys was not everywhere, so some of these, depending on where you grew up in the world, some of these maybe you never heard of. But Chuck E. Cheese is big in the U.S. still. Showbiz was big, and Mr. Gaddys still exists in some places. Mr. Gaddys, I have to say, was my favorite of the three. Because number one, the pizza was actually good at Mr. Gaddys. It was good enough that my mom wanted to take me. And it was not a big-time arcade, birthday-only experience. You could go for like a lunch buffet and enjoy yourself. But they also had a little theater. They had, actually the one I went to had two little theaters. And in those theaters, they would show old Warner Brothers cartoons, or old Max Fleischer cartoons, old Disney cartoons. And you could just sit in there and eat your pizza. I remember you'd get a red plate if you had the buffet. And that meant you could go, of course, back and forth to the theater as many times as you want to get more pizza. And you would go and you'd get a slice and you'd visit the salad bar because your mom forced you. And then you would watch these cartoons. But there was a second theater at the one I went to, and that second theater always showed live action shorts. And it would be like old school stuff like Three Stooges, or it would be Little Rascals, okay? And even though as a kid I loved cartoons and spent so much time watching stuff like what this is replicating, I spent more time at Mr. Gaddys in the old school live action room, watching the Three Stooges and watching the Little Rascals, because it just had this different sensibility to it. And my parents being born in the 30s and 40s, I was sort of like capturing what entertainment was like for them. And I think all of us sort of have a nostalgia for these old cartoons because it's a part of our childhood. So I'm definitely not going to be, I told you I'm not going to beat this level, but I'm going to enjoy some more pizza here. Hope you're doing okay. Here, let me get in here. Big old bite. And let me explain the Orange Crush real quick. Here we go.
Oh my god, dude, the smacking is so obnoxious. Can you stop?
I'm sorry, Mark. I'm chewing. What do you want me to do?
Stop!
I had some pizza delivered today.
God.
And you know me, I like a Jim Beam and Coke. I was trying to have some Coke delivered. Delivery guy calls me. He's like, they're out of Coke. I'm like, I got a Drink Play Swear to record. He goes, I'm sorry, who are you? I said, never mind. What do they have? And the first thing he said was, they have Orange Crush. And I hadn't thought about Orange Crush in like 20 years, but it does remind me of being at Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz Pizza, where you would walk up to the fountain drinks and you would just like pick a random drink because you had a cup. You could refill it as many times as you wanted. And sometimes you'd go for something like this. Look at that. I can't believe they still make this stuff. It's sort of horrifying and delightful at the same time, which I think is a little like this channel. Horrifying and delightful at the same time. Thanks for joining us for Cuphead, the DLC, and for some nostalgia, talking about Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz Pizza, Mr. Gaddys, and other pizza time theater. I mean, I chose it. I can't complain. Between now and the next time I talk to you, I'm Toddy, Mac Wright, Scottish 37%, pizza lover for life. See ya.